What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, Mike Tyson. Get this. Anthony Joshua on going the distance with Franklin. He said, Mike Tyson went 12 rounds. What's wrong with me going 12? And let me counterpunch. We can only assume that Anthony Joshua was talking about his after his losses, okay, of going 12 rounds. And for him to compare himself to Mike Tyson, let's take a look. All right. We had Mike, his first professional loss. Let me pull this up for you guys. He was 37. He was 37-0. Okay. And he was knocked out against Buster Douglas in the 10th round. Now, after that, he came up in June of 16th of 1990 against Henry Tillman. He knocked out Tillman in the first round. He knocked out Alex Stewart in the first round. He knocked out Donovan Razor Ruddock in the 7th round. Then he went 12 rounds with Razor Ruddock in the next fight in June, okay, a few months later. All right. And even after he got out of prison, which was in 95, he knocked out Peter McNeely. Then Buster Mathis Jr., then Frank Bruno. So it's like then Bruce Sheldon. And it goes on and on and on after that. Now, if you wanted to be fair, you could say, okay, he lost twice to Evander Holyfield, which is equivalent to Joshua losing twice to Usyk, right? That's a fair comparison. But even after that, he came right back with Francois Botha and knocked him out in the 5th round. Okay, Orlin Norris, I forget what happened in that fight, but then he knocked out Julian Francis. Okay, he knocked out Julian Francis. He knocked out Lou Salvarez. He made Andrew Galata quit. So what Anthony Joshua is referring to or comparing himself to is, wow, there's no comparison between Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua. So to make that comparison, that's piss poor. Piss poor. Because Mike Tyson came back out the box knocking people back out. That's the same thing that he used to do. Take people out. So for him to make that comparison, man, he picked a bad comparison trying to compare himself to Mike Tyson. That's as bad as Tyson Fury comparing himself to Muhammad Ali. These younger fighters today, just because they're the current fighters, I don't think it gives them the right to compare themselves to someone with an already polished and finished career. I know what he was saying, like, well, hey, they went 12 rounds, but Mike Tyson, bro, he should have picked Lennox Lewis. He would have had a better argument than Mike Tyson. I just know he doesn't like Lennox Lewis, go figure. But, nonetheless, Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua's career are nothing alike. They were nothing alike, except when they were knocking people out. And Mike continued knocking people out, okay? When he came off his loss and his first and only loss to Buster Douglas at the time. Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz. They stopped it in the 7th round. He went 12 rounds with Ruiz. Now, he took out Pulev a year later, which was his last knockout in 2020, okay, during the pandemic. But other than that, he lost twice back-to-back to Alexander Usyk and then went another 12 rounds with Franklin. See, had he took Franklin out like he's supposed to, then he could have an argument to compare himself to Mike Tyson, simply because Mike Tyson, he would get beat, by Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, et cetera, et cetera. But other fighters, their ass is mincemeat. He's not keeping them around. He's not going 12 rounds. He's not doing any of that stuff. So for Anthony Joshua to say, well, hey, what's wrong with that? That's a total, what's wrong with me going 12 rounds? You supposed to got Franklin's ass out of there. That's why he's getting so much ridicule right now. You know, see, here's the thing. If you did a half-ass performance and you know you did a half-ass performance, stop trying to defend the half-ass performance and take it for what it is, a half-ass performance. It wasn't something that he wanted. He wanted the knockout, right? And it's like, to me, Joshua beats himself up more over the Usyk defeat than the Franklin win. And he should be defeating or ridiculing himself and beating himself up over this Franklin shit. Why? Because Franklin was a guy that nobody heard of, that your rival, that you criticized, you said that you could have done better, and then you had the opportunity, and what did you do? You went 12 rounds as well. So now that guy, which is Dillian White, can come back and talk about you. But then you say, well, hey, well, Mike Tyson even went 12 rounds. Well, hey, let's do the math on that a bit, shall we? Because Mike Tyson, if he didn't get whooped, he was knocking somebody out or he was getting knocked out. That's what made him exciting. That's what made him unpredictable, unstable, right? But that's what put asses in the seats. See, Joshua's coming with the attitude, but he doesn't come with the aggression that he needs to come with. Yeah, he might do something crazy, but that's not going to do it by itself. You have to be able to take these guys out with your brute force. That's what boxing is about a lot of times. Yes, the sweet science, but sometimes you got to go in there and you got to kick some ass. Because sometimes in a boxing match, a fight breaks out. Not a verbal sparring session with Jermaine Franklin in between rounds or the little almost near brawl after the fight. None of that shit. None of it matters if you can't deliver. You're just a shit talker at that point. And people are going to see that for what it is. You know, well, not only can he not fight or knock guys out anymore, he's troublesome. That's what they're going to think. Mike Tyson had a combination of both. So if he wants to be like Mike Tyson, comparing himself to Mike Tyson, I suggest he starts knocking some people out. Because if not, they're just going to see him for what it is, a guy that used to be a knockout artist. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua comparing himself to Mike Tyson. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.